Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Great League. So we're going to be featuring the team with the Gastrodon paired with the Talonflame and the Mandibuzz in the back. Terrible matchup for them. They switch out into the Golurk. We had the Mandibuzz for this situation. It's going to be a really favorable matchup. We tank the Dynamic Punch easily. We can overfarm some more, and they realize that they have no chance to win that. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the combination of Gastrodon and the Mandibuzz. That is one of the main cores. So let's see how it works out. So low kicks versus the Gastrodon here. It's going to be better for us to switch out. So we're going to go into the Mandibuzz after farming just a little bit. They're going to throw a move. We can tank it. Doesn't matter what it is. X Scissor is only neutral. They're going to switch out. What is that? Goodra is revealed. Goodra is going to tank the Aero Ace, no problem. Okay, we're going to get to a Dark Pulse. This is going to deal some more neutral damage. Either it's going to get this into the low yellow, or they're going to shield it, decide to let it go. We are able to reach another Aero Ace. We finally get the shield. Are they looking to farm down? No, they're not. They're going to fire off a move. Ends up being the Aqua Tail. We barely survive it, so they get an extra Dragon Breath to go through. We're going to have to come back in here with the Gastrodon here. We can tank one move, so we're going to let this go. Aqua Tail, you can survive it. So we have the shield advantage, and now we have the low kicks to come back in. We do catch a move. I think it's X Scissor. Yep, resist it. And now we have Gastrodon versus this Talonflame. We're just going to fire off this flying move to either grab a shield or get some good damage. We are going to let this first one go. It's only the Body Slam. Going to overfarm here, and they're going to throw another Body Slam. We have to shield. We're going to fire off this Fly to either grab this last shield, or it's going to get the KO. They decide to shield it. We're going to combo play into the Gastrodon, and we're going to fire off our own Body Slam to take out their opposing Gastrodon. We are going to be able to reach another Body Slam here, so this is going to chip away at the health. And it looks like they are one fast move away from the KO. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the Gastrodon again. But more importantly, the Talonflame in the back was the key. All right, next game. Let's see what we find here. So we're going to have the Gastrodon versus the Chestnaught. This is a horrible matchup here. We're going to switch out into the Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz is going to be able to tank one move here. We are going to let this go. They go for the superpower and dip. Makes sense. They come back in here with the Dunsparce. So Dunsparce is going to be able to deal super effective fast move damage, but we're going to fight back with our own Dark Pulse. They're going to be able to throw a Rock Slide here. Super effective, but it doesn't quite KO, which allows us to get to this Dark Pulse again. We are going to try to get to another move here. We do grab another Dark Pulse. Potential shield maybe? No, they let it go, and we are able to survive it, so that's really good news for us. And we are able to get to Aero Ace with this Mandibuzz. This is going to get the shield, and now we have the matchup that we want. Talonflame into the Chestnaught is just fantastic. You don't have to worry about anything here. They're going to go for another superpower and dip probably. They have Drapion in the back, and that is horrible for them. Drapion is going to be able to fire off a move. Crunch goes through. It does get the debuff. So we're going to have to fire off this Body Slam immediately. It does go through, and now we're going to be able to get one fast move up to get them into the low red. We're going to let this go. That's fine. And now we can get an extra Incinerate, and they have no chance to win that game against the Talonflame. So GG's to our opponent, able to flip that switch, and not only that, Talonflame going crazy at the end right there. All right, next we have Gastrodon versus Diggersby. Okay. I guess Diggersby here is okay. Depending on what moveset the Diggersbys have. Okay, they reveal Scorching Sand, which is good information. So there might be an opportunity to catch a move here. Let's see what we do. We try to catch, but it doesn't go through. They're going to be able to fire off another move here. Scorching Sand does get used again. We were hoping they were baiting, but it looks like they're running the Scorching Sand. Here we're going to have to let this one go just to see what they have, and they have the Fire Punch version, so that was good. No shield. We're going to use the Dark Pulse versus this Toxapex. Toxapex is really tanky, as you may know, but we have some energy advantage. We're going to fire up a ton of Dark Pulses. Second Dark Pulse does get it into the yellow. We're going to fire off a move. Sludge Wave does get used. We can survive that. And now it comes down to how many Dark Pulses can we get off here. There's one Dark Pulse getting him into the red. We're going to fire off an Arrow Ace here to potentially get down into farm down range. Okay, we force the switch out, and now we have a really good matchup because we resist all the moves from this Diggersby because they've already revealed Fire Punch and Scorching Sand. So this is a good opportunity to farm down. They decided to go for the Scorching Sand on the second move. We avoid the debuff, trying to get the extra farm. Unfortunately, we couldn't get another Incinerate to go off there. We needed to fire off the move. We see the Dunsparce in the back. Dunsparce here is going to be able to throw a double super effective fast move. We try to catch a move, but our opponent was able to be patient with it, and this fly here is not enough, and they have a shield, so GG's to our opponent. Tough situation right there. Dunsparce in the back obviously is really bad, but the fact that we couldn't farm down that Diggersby with our Talonflame was really unfortunate. We needed to get that Diggersby with the farm down so we had all that energy to throw back at that Dunsparce. Alright, Skarmory here versus the Gastrodon. We're going to fire off a Water Pulse here to deal some good neutral damage. They decided to shield, okay? So they shield once, and then we're going to switch out here to go for the Sky Attack. Typically there's like a ground type or a water type. This makes sense too. The Lantern lurking in the back is interesting. It is going to be able to deal super effective damage. However, we are going to just spam a ton of Dark Pulses. 2 Dark Pulses gets them into the yellow. Trying to get to the third one. We're going to let this go because we know that we have the Gastrodon to come back in to clean up. Our opponent here is going to throw a Surf here. It gets us into the low yellow. We are able to farm down. We see the Skarmory come back in, and we see the Feraligatr in the back. We do have the shield advantage. Our opponent does throw a move, Hydro Cannon, obviously. We're going to fire off a Fly here. This is going to get the shield, or it's going to get a good amount of damage. They decide to shield it up. We're going to have to shield here, and let's see if we throw the Brave Bird or the Fly. We go for the Fly because we think we could farm down afterwards. No farm down, but our opponent does switch out immediately. We do catch a move, and we are able to survive it, so this is going to chip away at the health of this Skarmory, which allows us to potentially farm it down because they are energy dry. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with a little bit of catching in end game. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.